What's going on, everybody? Dave K here, and today I want to talk about the way to make every day a great one, and the most important health habit, in my opinion, in order to be healthy overall. Can you guess what it is? Let's get to it. So diving into the most important health habit of all, in my opinion, and the way to make every day a great one. And to me, that is mindset. I know, and I would love to hear your thoughts too. Let me know if you agree with me on this one. But it's so important to have the right mindset. And I want to dive into this a little bit more specifically in terms of your mood. And when you are considering your mood and when you're conscious of your mood, you can see that your mood impacts how you assess a situation. So let's say, for example, you wake up in the morning and you're tired and you're saying to yourself, "Oh, I'm so tired. It's going to be a long day. I've got to do all this work." You are creating challenges for yourself in that sense by saying, "Oh, I'm going to have to drag myself through work," that sort of thing. Whereas if you wake up first thing in the morning and you say, "Oh, right, got a good night's sleep. I'm excited for work. I'm excited for this project that we're working on," or "I'm excited for later tonight. I'm going out to Disney or Universal," or "I'm excited to try this new restaurant I've got planned this weekend," or something that you're looking forward to. You can control that mood and you can create a situation for yourself where those situations are actually going to occur more positively because you're seeing them more positively. So this is the reality of a situation. You might find yourself at work, for example. Let's say you're at work and your boss says to you, "Hey, I need you to get this, this, and this done." And depending upon your mood, you can interpret that so differently. If you're coming with that mood of, "Oh, I'm so tired, it's going to be a long day, I have to do all this stuff," you might say, "Oh my gosh, so much more to add to my plate. Now I need to do all these things as well. What am I going to do? How am I going to get through all of this?" And it's going to take away from your mood. That event is going to take away from your mood. And maybe you'll react and, that sort of thing. Like, there's several levels, but we're just starting at the very top level of input and your emotional response and your thoughts and how that affects your emotional response. Versus, let's be the happy person now. We woke up in the morning feeling energized, feeling fresh, looking forward to our weekend, looking forward to all these great things happening in life. And your boss says to you, "Hey, you've got this, this, and this. These all need to get done today," or whenever it is, by the end of the week, that sort of thing. Get to it. You may, in that situation, say to yourself, "Oh, okay, great. Now I've got this extra work on my plate. How am I going to manage this? How am I going to prioritize this? Maybe this is a great thing. Maybe this means that I'm starting to work towards that promotion and the boss is starting to see me in a higher light by giving me so many responsibilities and so many tasks." So see how you can take the same situation, just depending upon how you go into it with your mood, and you can take away a different sort of reaction to that situation. Now, the next piece of that is then how you react back to someone. So let's say, again, you had that same thing happen in the morning. Your boss said, "Here's this stuff," and you're sitting down with your friend Jimmy for lunch. And Jimmy says, "How's the day going?" or "How's the week going?" whatever. And the sad person might say, or the person who's a little bit more down might say, "Oh, I got all this extra work I got to do now. I don't know how I'm going to get through it all." Whereas that happy person might say, "Oh, I got these extra tasks, and I know it's a lot of work, but this might mean I'm that much closer to that promotion I've been thinking about, talking about." And by saying those things out loud, first of all, you're starting a positive conversation versus a negative conversation with your friend, which creates more of that mindset of positivity or negativity or whatever you're creating. And so my suggestion here is choose positive and make positive for yourself. But also, just by saying those things, you're kind of reinforcing that mood or reinforcing that thought process in yourself and the way that you're thinking to kind of set yourself up to live in that way. So it's really important to try to be conscious of this sort of thing and make the conscious choice to be happy and to create that positive mood for yourself. So that's one really big thing I wanted to touch on here. I think the most important healthy habit, and let me dive into why I think this is the most important healthy habit as well. But I want to say choose happiness, and that's one of my big takeaways here today. I want to make sure that you choose happiness and choose positivity today, whatever may be coming at you, and in future days, and this week, and this month. But think about it today. As you're watching this today, remind yourself to choose happiness, to bring about that positivity wherever you can. And challenges happen, but can you spin them in a positive light? Can you look at them in a positive way? And let me tell you why I think that's the most important health habit of all of them. The reason I think that choosing happiness is the most important health habit of all of them is twofold. One of which is it allows you to maximize your efficiency. And the other one is it can have an impact, I guess they're kind of related, is that it can have an impact on your kind of goals and you're getting things done. So if you're happy and you're positive, you're saying to yourself, all right, I'm feeling energized. I'm giving myself this much more time and this much more energy to get through these other activities I want to get done. Maybe you're that much more productive at work, and you're that much more productive driving back home or getting your video editing done as soon as you get home, and that gave you that much more time. So now you can do that exercise you've been wanting to do. You're thinking about health habits overall. Look, I was that much more productive editing my video. I was happy and energized and focused in editing. Made me do it that much faster. Now I have time to work on those other health habits, like that exercise I wanted to get done. Now I can cook myself that salad instead of just putting that Hot Pocket in the microwave. I have both days. But, if I can create that time for myself and create that mood. Another thing is, with the healthy food and healthy dining and the exercise, not only does it take actual time, but it takes mental energy and mental effort. You have to put in the effort to make a decision every morning. You open your pantry and you say, oh, am I going to eat the Cookie Crisp or am I going to eat the Mini Wheats? And you put in energy and effort in order to make that decision. And so as you go out throughout your day, you deplete mental energy in making all of these decisions. And if you can be happy and more positive, you give yourself that much more positivity and mental energy to create those decisions and to make those decisions that you want to make. So I encourage you to keep this in mind, the importance of happiness to make those positive decisions and to create actual physical time for yourself based on that efficiency. Since you were happier, you're working harder, better, faster, stronger, and more efficiently to get all those extra things done. So you can see how that happiness, that mindset impacts all those other health habits because you consciously, positively made those choices and because you actually created more physical time for yourself. And another reason why this is the most important health habit of all. You might say, yeah, Dave, but I'm doing this exercise and I'm doing this eating the healthy items, the salads and that kind of thing, but I'm still running into challenges when it comes to weight and stress and that kind of thing. Well, you'll notice weight and stress are two separate things. But let's say weight. You'll notice that your stress can impact that. Your stress can drive eating. It can drive unhealthy habits. It can drive, for example, not getting as much sleep. And weirdly, there's a connection between not getting as much sleep and that kind of mood being impacted and then putting on weight there as well. You're up more hours of the day, so you're probably eating more throughout the day. So it's so interesting to think, so crazy to think that your mindset really drives all of that. Yes, there is so much physical to it, right? You have to do the physical exercise and eat the good physical things to create that physical form that you want for yourself. But having that mindset, making that choice, and choosing those positive thoughts and choosing that positive attitude in every instance and throughout the day can really drive so much positivity, so much success for you throughout your day-to-day tasks. And I'm just telling you, it reinforces each of those things, right? As you choose to be positive, it might help you work towards getting that promotion. The boss says, wow, you're really positive and hustling with all this work. So let's see it looking at you for that promotion. Or you may say, oh, I'm going out to this restaurant. Again, I'm feeling positive and energized. Let me choose that healthier item. So it really ties into each and every habit you want to live throughout your life. And this doesn't just relate to health and wellness. It relates to really everything. Let's say you're thinking about, I'm finances, and I'm trying to figure out things with finances. If you come at it with a positive mindset, it allows you to think about it more, problem solve more, and come up with more solutions. How am I going to save more? Where can I reduce my expenses? If you're bringing that happy, positive approach to it, I'm telling you, that drives, that cuts across every little thing in life. So if you can remember to bring that happiness and bring that positivity today and every other day, you're going to be setting yourself up for success. So if there's one thing you could take away from this, is try to remind yourself to be positive, to create as positive an environment and a mood for yourself as you possibly can. Because I'm telling you, that impacts your performance across each and everything that you find yourself doing throughout the day. So how can you create that happiness and that positivity we're talking about? Sometimes you're just having a really rough day, and it's tough to create that happiness and that positivity. And a lot of the times, maybe you can frame it up and say, okay, this is good, and here's what's going on good in life, or think about the positive, happy things. But sometimes you're just in really challenging situations. And so how can you frame things in a more positive light? Different people do this in different ways, but there's a lot of different things you can do. One thing you can do is look at other people's situations. I feel like sometimes it's helped me look at other people's situations and just sort of see how people are perceiving things and how people are able to make the most of situations, whether they're going through challenges, let's say financially or in terms of health. They're still really happy and positive as they're working towards these goals, and you can see how it drives them forward and how it helps them achieve those goals. And so seeing that happiness and seeing that positivity, let's say, for example, you got a stressful day of work ahead, maybe you turn on some happy, positive vlogs or some happy, positive at-home chats that you hear from maybe some of your favorite vloggers and listen to what they're saying about happiness and positivity and see that smile. And maybe that helps make you more positive. That's definitely one thing that you can do, is look at that positivity, see that positivity, and that can help make you more positive. Definitely one strong technique to use. Another thing that I use at times is comparing my situation to previous situations. I say to myself, well, let's think about this situation I went through in the past. Yes, right now, maybe I'm running into this challenge with work, but was this as challenging as when I had to do that big project for the end of the year, or that big project for the summertime, maybe July 4th, there was some big work event you had to put together if you're coordinating events, or that one customer you had to deal with, or that one sale you had to get through, depending upon what sort of work you type to do, or what sort of work you do, or what type of work you do. It's just a question of sort of comparing it and seeing, oh, you know what, as much as this is a challenge, this is a lot of work on my plate, it's not quite as tough as that. And so if I made it through that, I can make it through this. So sort of thinking back on those previous situations that you've been through, a lot of the time for me, that can be a great way to set up that positive mindset and frame things positively as well. Another great way to do this is appreciation. I talked about thinking forward to those exciting positive things that you've got maybe over the weekend or later in the day. But also think about this. If you can wake up every morning and say to yourself, you know, I'm really thankful for this, this, and this yesterday, or I'm really thankful for this, this, and this today. You know, I'm thankful to be able to take a hot shower this morning. I'm thankful to be able to eat this breakfast, this cereal, or whatever choice that I've made. I'm thankful to have the job that I do, that I'm able to support my family, or whatever the case might be for you. To think about those things, remind yourself of those sort of positive affirmations, those things that you appreciate, and reminding yourself of that appreciation can take you a really, really long way when it comes to setting yourself up for overall happiness. And this is honestly one of my biggest goals for the year. I feel like I do a pretty good job of trying to be happy often. But another one of my biggest goals for the year is driving that even that much more often, is reminding myself of those positive scenarios when things get tricky when it comes to work, or whatever else the situation might be, reminding myself of that positivity and setting myself up for the happiness more and more consistently. And it's not just in those situations. If you wake up every morning and drive that positivity and that happiness, it'll create a habit for you that seeps over into the everyday life. And that's something to keep in mind. Again, I've touched on in some other videos. If you can constantly try to build more of a certain habit, that can kind of cross over and be more of something that builds on itself over time. So if you focus on that happiness and build on that happiness over time, it'll help get you in that direction where you want to be in terms of happiness. What do you think? Do you agree with me on this? What are your thoughts on this video? I wanted to dive into what I think is one of the most important wellness tips. Again, this one you can't talk about enough. You can't strike this one home enough. If you can really focus on the happiness and that positivity, you're going to set yourself up for healthiness throughout your life. Let me know what you think in the comments below. If you like this video, make sure you hit that thumbs up button and let me know if you liked it. And if you haven't already, for more fun adventures, make sure you hit that subscribe button, ring the bell to stay informed, and until next time, play on. So already letting you know that So how can you create that habit?